The throne room reeks of blood and smoke. Bodies of the Mad King's Kingsguard litter the floor. Aerys Targaryen's corpse lies at the base of the Iron Throne, his throat cut, blood pooling on the stone. Jaime Lannister sits on the Iron Throne itself. He's 20 years old, golden-haired, his white Kingsguard cloak stained with blood and ash. His sword, still wet with the Mad King's blood, rests across his knees. The great doors crash open. Eddard Stark enters at the head of his northern vanguard. 200 men in gray cloaks and wolf sigils, swords drawn, boots echoing on the marble floor. Ned is 21, lean and hard from war, his face grave. He stops when he sees Jaime on the throne. "Get off," Ned says. His voice is cold. Jaime looks up. There's something broken in his eyes. He was going to burn the city. All of it. Burn them all, he kept saying. The pyromancers had placed wildfire throughout King's Landing. Thousands of pots. Under the Sept of Baelor. Under the Red Keep. Under Flea Bottom. He was going to kill everyone. Jaime stands slowly. He descends the steps, sword still in hand. "I saved them. All of them. 1,000,000 people. And they'll call me Kingslayer for the rest of my life. You broke your oath. I kept a bigger one. I protected the innocent." Jaime stops in front of Ned. "What would you have done, Stark? Let him burn the city." He walks past Jaime, his men fanning out to secure the throne room. He climbs the steps to the Iron Throne. The Iron Throne, forged from the swords of Aegon the Conqueror's enemies, symbol of 3 centuries of Targaryen rule. Now sitting empty after the Mad King's death, Ned stands before it. He doesn't sit. Not yet. His lieutenant, a grizzled northern captain named Jory Cassell, approaches. "My lord, what are your orders?" Ned looks at the throne, at the 1,000 blades, at the power it represents. "Secure the Red Keep," Ned says. "Post guards at every entrance. No one enters or leaves without my permission. Find the royal family, Queen Rhaella, Prince Viserys, any survivors. Protect them. And the Lannister forces, my lord? They're still in the city, looting, killing. Tell Tywin Lannister that the killing stops now. Anyone caught looting or murdering will be executed. I don't care whose banner they serve. My lord, Tywin has 30,000 men in the city. We have... I don't care. The war is over. The killing ends." Ned turns to face the throne room. "Summon the lords. Everyone who's in the city. Lannister, Arryn, Tully, anyone who fought with us. We convene a council in 1 hour." He expects, "Robert isn't here yet. I am." Ned looks at the Iron Throne again. And someone needs to restore order before the city tears itself apart. He sits. The Iron Throne cuts his hand immediately. A small gash on his palm from one of the twisted blades. Blood wells up. Ned ignores it. Jaime Lannister watches from the base of the steps. So the wolf takes the throne. I wonder what the stag will say about that. Ned meets his eyes. Take Sir Jaime to a chamber. Under guard. He'll answer for the kingslaying, but not today. Answer to whom? You? Jaime's voice is bitter. "You're not the king, Stark. Robert Baratheon is. He killed Rhaegar at the Trident. He has Targaryen blood through his grandmother. The throne is his by right of conquest." "The throne belongs to whoever can hold it," Ned says quietly. "That's the only right that matters now." Jaime is led away. The northern soldiers spread throughout the throne room, taking positions at the doors and windows. Ned sits on the Iron Throne and feels its weight settling onto his shoulders. Outside, King's Landing burns. Lannister soldiers loot the city. The small folk hide in their homes, terrified. And somewhere to the south, Robert Baratheon rides toward the capital, expecting to be crowned king. Red Keep, small council chamber 1 hour later. The small council chamber is crowded with lords who survived the war and made it to King's Landing in time for the sack. Jon Arryn, Lord of the Eyrie and Warden of the East, stands near the head of the table. He's 50 years old, gray-haired with the careful bearing of a man who's spent his life in politics. He raised both Robert and Ned as his wards. He knows them both. Hoster Tully, Lord of Riverrun, sits with his hands folded. His lands were devastated by the war. His daughter Catelyn just married Ned Stark. His other daughter Lysa married Jon Arryn. He has a stake in keeping the alliance together. Tywin Lannister stands near the window, apart from the others. He's 43, tall and commanding, his face carved from stone. He arrived at King's Landing with an army of 30,000, ostensibly to help King Aerys, but opened the gates and sacked the city instead. He's wearing crimson and gold. His hands are clean. Other lords fill the room. Riverlords, Vale Knights, Northern Bannermen, all watching, all waiting to see what happens. Ned enters. Everyone stands. "Sit," Ned says. Ned remains standing at the head of the table. "King Aerys Targaryen is dead," Ned says. "Killed by Jaime Lannister to prevent the city from burning. The war is over. The question before us is, what happens next? He has the best claim: Targaryen blood, conquest and battle, the support of the great houses. He killed Rhaegar at the Trident. The throne is his." Ned says, "He will be. Within days." Days we don't have. Ned looks around the table. King's Landing is in chaos. Your men, Lord Tywin, are looting the city, raping, murdering. The small folk are terrified. Every hour we wait to restore order, more innocents die. Tywin's expression doesn't change. "War is ugly, Lord Stark. My men entered a city that was still loyal to the Mad King. They acted accordingly. I saw the bodies," Ned continues, his voice hard. "Rhaegar's children. Rhaenys was 4 years old. They smashed her head against a wall. Aegon was a baby. They stabbed him 100 times. And Princess Elia..." He stops. "What your men did to Princess Elia before they killed her is unspeakable. You gave the order to take the city. You gave Gregor Clegane and Amory Lorch free rein. Don't pretend you didn't know what they would do. The children were Targaryen pretenders. They had to die or they would become rallying points for loyalists. They were infants." Ned's voice is barely above a whisper, but everyone hears the fury in it. "Infants. And you had them murdered to curry favor with Robert." Jon Arryn intervenes. "My lords, recriminations won't help us now. What's done is done. We need to look forward." "Forward to what?" Hoster Tully asks. "Ned is right that the city needs order. But Tywin is right that Robert has the stronger claim to the throne. How do we resolve this?" "I have already resolved it," Ned says. He looks at each of them in turn. "I am claiming the Iron Throne." The room erupts. Lords shout. Fists slam on the table. "You have no claim!" Tywin's voice cuts through the noise. "No Targaryen blood. No royal lineage. No legal right whatsoever." "I have the right of conquest," Ned says. "The same right Aegon the Conqueror had when he forged the 7 kingdoms. The same right Robert would claim if he sat the throne. I hold King's Landing. I have an army. And I have your sword, Lord Tywin, or I will have it if you want to keep your head." Tywin goes very still. "Is that a threat? It's a fact. You sacked this city. You murdered the royal family. You committed treason against your king. The only thing keeping you alive right now is my mercy." Robert isn't here. I am. And I'm telling you how this is going to work." Ned leans forward, hands flat on the table. "You will swear fealty to me. You will order your men to stop the looting immediately. You will surrender Gregor Clegane and Amory Lorch to face justice for murdering Elia Martell and her children. And in exchange, I will pardon you for your treason against Aerys and confirm you as Lord of Casterly Rock and Warden of the West. You have no authority to..." "I have the authority of this sword." Ned's hand goes to Ice's hilt, "and the authority of every lord in this room who's sick of watching innocents die. Jon, what say you? Do I have your support?" Jon Arryn is silent for a long moment. His face is troubled. "Ned, Robert is my ward. I raised him like a son. He fought this war believing he would be king. If we deny him that, I'm not denying him anything. I'm asking him to wait, to let me restore order first, to let me build a realm worth inheriting." Ned looks at Jon. "You know Robert. You know he's a warrior, not a ruler. He'll want to hunt and feast and fight. He doesn't want the burden of the crown. Not really." "That's not for us to decide," Jon says quietly. "Isn't it? We fought this war together. We bled together. We won together. The throne doesn't belong to Robert by divine right. It belongs to whoever has the strength to take it and the wisdom to hold it." Ned straightens. "I can hold it. I can give the realm peace, justice, stability. Can Robert do that?" Jon Arryn doesn't answer. "Hoster?" Ned looks at his good father. "You fought to protect your lands, your people. I'm offering to do the same for the whole realm. Will you support me?" Hoster Tully studies Ned. His daughter just married this man. His grandchildren will be Starks. But Robert Baratheon is a force of nature, and opposing him means risk. "If you claim the throne," Hoster says slowly, "Robert will see it as betrayal. He may raise his banners against you. The Stormlands are loyal to him. We could face another war. Or Robert could be convinced to accept reality," Ned says. Jon, you raised him. You know him better than anyone. Could you make him see reason? Jon Arryn closes his eyes. When he opens them, he looks older. I can try. But Ned, you're asking me to choose between my two sons. I love you both, and this will destroy one of you. Then help me make sure it's not both of us. Ned turns to the rest of the room. I need a decision, now. Do I have your support or not? The Northern Lords shout their approval immediately. They follow Ned Stark without question. The River Lords look to Hoster Tully. He nods slowly. One by one, they agree. The Vale Lords look to Jon Arryn. He's silent for a long, agonizing moment. Then, I will support you, Ned. But you must promise me, when Robert arrives, you will give him a chance. You will negotiate. You will not force this upon him at sword point. Agreed. Everyone looks at Tywin Lannister. Tywin's face is a mask. He's calculating. Running the numbers, 30,000 Lannister soldiers in the city against perhaps 10,000 rebels. But the rebels hold the Red Keep. They have Ned Stark, who just proved he's willing to execute lords for war crimes. And if Tywin refuses, he loses everything. I will swear fealty, Tywin says. His voice is ice. Provisionally, until Lord Robert arrives and this matter is settled properly. No, Ned says. Unconditionally. Now. Tywin's jaw clenches. But he kneels. I, Tywin Lannister, Lord of Casterly Rock, Warden of the West, do hereby swear fealty to King Eddard of House Stark, first of his name. I pledge my sword, my lands, and my loyalty to the Iron Throne. The words are correct. The tone is poison. Rise, Ned says, and the matter of Gregor Clegane and Amory Lorch, they will be arrested and tried for the murder of Princess Elia and her children. If found guilty, they will be executed. Then they'll hang alone, but they will hang. Ned looks at Jon Arryn. Send riders to Robert, tell him what's happened. Tell him I need to speak with him, as brothers, as friends. Tell him, he pauses, tell him I haven't forgotten what we fought for, but tell him the realm needs stability more than it needs his pride. Lords file out, whispering to each other. Tywin Lannister leaves without a word, his face like stone. Only Jon Arryn and Hoster Tully remain. You know Robert won't accept this, Jon says quietly. I know, Ned admits, but I'm hoping you can convince him. You're the only one he might listen to. And if I can't? Ned doesn't answer. Hoster Tully speaks. You've put yourself in a dangerous position, Ned. You have the throne, but you don't have legitimacy. Not yet. The lords will follow you because you're here and Robert isn't. But when Robert arrives, he shakes his head. You need to give him something. Some reason to accept your claim instead of fighting you for it. What would you suggest? Make him your hand, give him command of your armies. Acknowledge his claim to the Stormlands, and make him Warden of the South. Show him that you value him, that you need him. Men like Robert need to feel important. And if that's not enough, then pray, Hoster says. Because if Robert Baratheon decides to take the throne by force, this realm will drown in blood. Red Keep Ned's temporary chambers night. Ned sits alone in a chamber overlooking Blackwater Bay. The city is quieter now. The looting has mostly stopped after Ned threatened to execute the next Lannister soldier caught stealing. There's a knock at the door. Enter. A northern soldier opens the door. My lord, a visitor. Says it's urgent. Who, Lord Varys, my lord? The spider. From King Aerys's small council. Ned tenses. Let him in, but search him first. He's a soft, plump man with a powdered face and perfumed robes. He moves like silk across water. He bows deeply. Lord Stark, forgive the intrusion at this late hour. What do you want? To offer my services, my lord. I served King Aerys as Master of Whisperers. I would be honored to serve you in the same capacity. You want me to trust a man who served the Mad King? I serve the realm, my lord. The king changes. The realm endures. And the realm needs information to survive. I can provide that information. Ned studies him. Every instinct screams not to trust this creature. But Jon Arryn's words echo in his mind. You need legitimacy. You need allies. You need to build a functioning government. What can you tell me that I don't already know? Ned asks. I can tell you that Queen Rhaella and Prince Viserys fled Dragonstone by ship 3 days ago. They're sailing for the free cities. I can tell you that Dorne is mourning Princess Elia and will demand justice for her murder. I can tell you that Tywin Lannister will never forgive you for humiliating him today. regardless of what oaths he swears. And I can tell you that Robert Baratheon is 2 days' ride from King's Landing, and he's bringing 10,000 Stormlords with him. 10,000 men he expects to be crowned, my lord. And when he arrives and finds you on the throne, Varys spreads his hands. Well, that will be an interesting conversation. Why are you telling me this? Because I serve the realm, my lord, and civil war between you and Robert would destroy everything we fought for. The Reach is still Targaryen loyal in principle. Dorne wants vengeance for Elia. The Iron Islands are always restless. If you and Robert go to war, the realm fractures, thousands die, and all our victories turn to ash. So what do you suggest? Negotiate. Compromise. Give Robert something valuable enough that he'll accept not being king. Jon Arryn is already preparing the ground. I have reports from his men. But you'll need to offer more than titles and honors. You'll need to offer him purpose. Such as, Varys smiles. Make him your champion, the sword of the king, the man who fights the battles while you rule. Robert loves war. He loves glory. He doesn't love sitting in council chambers arguing about grain prices. Give him what he actually wants. Freedom to be a warrior, and he might accept what he thinks he wants. Ned considers this, and if he doesn't accept, then you'll have a civil war, my lord. One that will make the last one look like a skirmish. The King's Road Robert's camp. 2 days later, Robert Baratheon sits in his command tent, nursing a wineskin. He's 23 years old, massive and powerful, with dark hair and blue eyes that still carry the fury of the trident. Jon Arryn enters. Robert, a word. Robert looks up. Jon, come to celebrate? We've won. Rhaegar is dead. Aerys is dead. The dragons are finished. Sit down, Robert. What's wrong? Ned has claimed the Iron Throne. For a moment, Robert doesn't react. Then he laughs. It's a loud, booming sound. Good jest, Jon. You almost had me. It's not a jest. The laughter dies. Robert stands. What? Ned arrived at King's Landing first. He found Jaime Lannister on the throne and Aerys dead. He secured the Red Keep and had himself acclaimed as king by the lords present. He what? Robert, listen to me. That throne is mine. Robert's voice shakes the tent. I killed Rhaegar. I smashed his dragon armor with my warhammer. I bled at the trident. The throne is mine by right of conquest. Ned argues the same right. He holds the capital. He has the support of the North, the Riverlands, and the Vale. He's already received oaths from the lords in the city. Then those oaths mean nothing. Robert grabs Jon's shoulders. Jon, you raised me. You're like a father to me. Tell me you didn't support this. Tell me you stood with me. But I had to choose what was best for the realm. Robert shoves him away. What's best for the realm? I'm what's best for the realm. I won this war. I united the kingdoms against the Mad King. And now my brother, my foster brother, steals my crown. He's a traitor. Robert draws his sword. Gather the men. We march on King's Landing. I'll tear Ned Stark off that throne with my own hands. Jon's voice is urgent. If you attack Ned, you'll be fighting the North, the Riverlands, and the Vale. Your own allies. The realm will fracture. The war will continue. Thousands more will die. Is that what you want? I want what's mine. And Ned wants to give you that. He sent me to negotiate. Robert stops. Negotiate what? The throne is mine by right. There's nothing to negotiate. He's offering to make you Hand of the King, commander of the royal armies, warden of the South, lord of Storm's End and the Stormlands. Everything except the crown itself. I don't want to be Hand. I want to be king. Why? Jon's question is simple but cuts deep. Robert, tell me honestly, why do you want to be king? Because I earned it. Because I fought for it. Because Lyanna. Robert stops. His face twists with pain. Because they took Lyanna from me. Rhaegar took her. And if I'm not king, then what did she die for? What did any of this mean? It meant you saved the realm from a madman. It meant you avenged your house and your honor. It meant you became a hero. Jon puts a hand on Robert's shoulder. Being king won't bring Lyanna back. It won't make the pain stop. But being Hand, being the sword that protects the realm, that's something worthy. That's something she would be proud of. Robert's eyes are wet. He betrayed me, Jon. Ned betrayed me. No, he made a hard choice to prevent more bloodshed. And now he's asking you to do the same. Jon squeezes Robert's shoulder. Come to King's Landing. Meet with him. Talk this through. If you still want to fight after that, then fight. But give him a chance first. For Lyanna's memory, for the realm we both love. Robert is silent for a long time. When he finally speaks, his voice is hoarse. "I'll meet him. But Jon, if he won't yield the throne, I will take it. I don't care what it costs." "I know, but let's hope it doesn't come to that." King's Landing read, keep 3 days later. Robert Baratheon rides through the gates of King's Landing at the head of his storm lords. 10,000 men in yellow and black, the crowned stag flying above them. The city watches in silence. The small folk have heard the rumors. The Stark wolf took the throne. Now the Baratheon stag has come to claim it. Ned stands on the battlements of the Red Keep, watching the army approach. Beside him, Hoster Tully and several northern lords wait. "He brought his whole army," Hoster observes. "That's not a good sign." "He brought it to intimidate me," Ned says, "to remind me that he has the strength to take what he wants. Can we stop him if he attacks? No, not here. The Red Keep is defensible, but we'd be under siege, and Tywin's forces are still in the city. If he decides to support Robert," Ned doesn't finish the thought. "Then we need this negotiation to succeed." "I know." They descend to the throne room. Ned sits on the Iron Throne. His northern bannermen line the walls. The room is packed with lords. Stark, Tully, Arryn, Lannister, all watching. The doors open. Robert Baratheon enters. He's even bigger than Ned remembered. 6.5 feet tall, broad as a bull, moving with the casual power of a man who's never doubted his own strength. He wears his armor still, the crowned stag emblazoned on the breastplate. His warhammer is strapped to his back. He stops at the base of the steps to the throne. He looks up at Ned. "Get off my throne," Robert says. The room goes silent. Ned doesn't move. "It's not your throne, Robert. Not anymore. I killed Rhaegar Targaryen. I smashed his chest in with this hammer. The throne is mine by right of conquest. And I hold King's Landing. I have the support of 3 kingdoms. I've been acclaimed by the lords. The throne is mine by the same right." Robert's hand goes to his hammer. "Then we settle this the old way. Single combat. You and me. Winner takes the throne." "No." "Why not?" "Afraid you'll lose. Because if I kill you, I lose the Stormlands, and if you kill me, you start a war with the North and the Riverlands. Either way, the realm loses." Ned leans forward. "Robert, brother, I'm not your enemy. I'm trying to save the realm from more bloodshed." "By stealing my crown? By taking the burden you don't actually want?" Ned stands. "You say you want to be king. Fine. Tell me, what will you do as king? Will you sit in council chambers negotiating trade agreements? Will you adjudicate disputes between lords? Will you manage the royal treasury and ensure the small folk are fed? Or will you do what you've always done, hunt and fight and drink and fuck while other men do the actual work of ruling?" Robert's face goes red. "How dare you? I dare because I love you, because you're my brother, and because I know you, Robert, better than you know yourself." Ned descends the steps. "You don't want to be king. You want the glory of being king, the respect, the power, but you don't want the responsibility you never have." "And you do?" "No, but I'll shoulder it anyway, because someone has to, and I won't let the realm descend into chaos because neither of us wants to do what's necessary." They're face to face now. 2 men who grew up as brothers, who fought a war together, who are now on the edge of destroying each other. "What are you offering?" Robert asks quietly. "Hand of the king, commander of my armies, warden of the south, lord paramount of the Stormlands. The highest honors I can give, everything except the crown. And if I refuse, then we go to war, and thousands die, and the realm fractures, and everything we fought for turns to ash." Ned puts a hand on Robert's shoulder. "Don't do that to Lyanna's memory. She died because the Mad King started a war. Don't let her death lead to another one. You're asking me to give up everything. I'm asking you to give up a title, not your honor, not your strength, not your purpose, just a title." For a long moment, Robert doesn't move. The entire throne room holds its breath. Then Robert kneels. "I, Robert of House Baratheon, Lord of Storm's End and Lord Paramount of the Stormlands, do hereby swear fealty to King Eddard of House Stark, first of his name. I pledge my sword, my strength, and my loyalty to the Iron Throne." The words are correct, but there are tears running down Robert's face. Ned helps him to his feet. "You're my brother, Robert. That hasn't changed. That will never change." Robert doesn't answer. He turns and walks out of the throne room, and Ned sits back down on the Iron Throne. knowing that he's won, but also knowing that he's broken something that can never be fully repaired. The Tower of Joy. 3 weeks later, the Tower of Joy stands alone in the red mountains of Dorne, a round tower of pale stone built for a Dornish prince's paramour 2 centuries ago. Now it's a prison. Eddard Stark rides across the sand with 6 companions: Howland Reed, Lord of Greywater Watch, Willem Dustin, Ethan Glover, Martin Castle, Theo Wool, Mark Risewell, all northern men, all loyal. Before the tower stand 3 figures in white cloaks: Sir Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning, the finest knight in the 7 kingdoms. He carries Dawn, the legendary sword forged from a fallen star. Ser Oswell Went, tall and grim in white armor with a black bat on his shield. Lord Commander Gerald Hightower, the White Bull, an old man but still formidable. 3 members of the King's Guard, the finest warriors in Westeros, standing guard over a tower in the middle of nowhere. While their king died in King's Landing, Ned dismounts. His men do the same. "I looked for you on the Trident," Ned says to Sir Arthur. "We were not there," Arthur Dayne replies. His voice is sad. "Woe to the usurper if we had been," says Gerald Hightower. "When King's Landing fell," Ned continues, "Sir Jaime slew your king with a golden sword, and I wondered where you were." "Far away," says Ser Oswell Went, "or Aerys would yet sit the Iron Throne, and our false brother would burn in 7 hells. I came down on Storm's End to lift the siege," Ned says, "and the Lords Tyrell and Redwine dipped their banners. I was certain you would be among them. Sir Willem Darry is fled to Dragonstone with your queen and Prince Viserys," Ned tells them. "I thought you might have sailed with him." "Ser Willem is a good man and true," says Gerald Hightower, "but not of the King's Guard. The King's Guard does not flee. We swore a vow. Ned's men draw their swords. Howland Reed knocks an arrow. I wish you good fortune in the wars to come," Ned says. "The battle is brief and terrible. Sir Arthur Dayne is as good as the songs say. He kills Willem Dustin with a thrust through the throat. Mark Risewell falls with Dawn through his heart. Ethan Glover loses his sword hand to a single cut. Ser Oswell Went cuts down Theo Wool and wounds Martin Castle gravely. Gerald Hightower fights like a man half his age, his sword a silver blur. But they're 3 against 7, and even the finest knights can be overwhelmed. Howland Reed's arrow takes Sir Oswell through the neck. The knight falls, drowning in his own blood. Ned fights Sir Arthur Dayne personally. The Sword of the Morning is faster, stronger, more skilled. He disarms Ned twice, but Howland Reed strikes from behind with a dagger between Arthur's shoulder blades, and the greatest knight in Westeros falls to his knees. Arthur looks up at Ned. "The child. I'll protect him," Ned says. "I swear it." Arthur smiles. Then he dies. Gerald Hightower is the last. He fights with his back to the tower door until Martin Castle runs him through from behind. Silence falls. 5 of Ned's companions are dead or dying. Only Ned and Howland remain standing. Ned climbs the tower stairs. At the top, in a bed soaked with blood, lies Lyanna Stark. She's 20 years old and dying. Childbirth has destroyed her. The bed is red. The floor is red. Blue winter roses, her favorite, sit in a vase beside the bed, their petals wilting. A baby wails, a newborn boy, wrapped in Targaryen crimson and black. Lyanna's eyes find Ned. "Brother." Ned falls to his knees beside her bed. "Lyanna, gods, Lyanna, what did he do to you?" "He didn't," she coughs. Blood flecks her lips. "He didn't take me, Ned. I went with him. I loved him." "You loved Rhaegar Targaryen? The man who started this war?" "Robert started the war. The Mad King started the war." Her hand grips Ned's weakly. "Rhaegar and I just loved each other. We married, Ned. Before the 7. In secret, the boy, he's not a bastard. He's legitimate. He's the heir to the Iron Throne." Ned's blood runs cold. "Lyanna, no. Don't tell me this. His name is Aegon, like Aegon the Conqueror. Rhaegar chose it before he died." Tears run down her face. "Promise me, Ned. Promise me you'll protect him. Robert will kill him if he knows. He hates Targaryens. He'll call him dragon spawn and murder him like he wanted to murder Rhaegar's other children. I can't. Promise me you'll keep him safe. Raise him. Love him. Don't let them kill him for who his father was." Ned looks at the baby. Dark hair. Gray eyes. Stark features, not Targaryen. A gift from the gods? The boy looks northern, not like a dragon prince. "I promise," Ned says. I'll protect him with my life. Lyanna smiles. I wanted to name him Jon, after Jon Arryn, to honor the man who raised you. But Rhaegar wanted Aegon. She coughs again. More blood. Choose for him, Ned. Choose what will keep him safe. I will. Good, good. Her eyes are closing. I'm so cold, Ned. So cold. Stay with me. Please, Lyanna, stay. But she's already gone. Ned Stark, King of the Seven Kingdoms, holds his sister's body and weeps. The baby, Jon, Aegon, whoever he is, continues to cry. And Howland Reed enters the room, sees the scene, and understands immediately what burden Ned has just accepted. The King's Road heading north, 2 weeks later, Ned rides north with Howland Reed and the infant. The boy is wrapped in northern gray now, the Targaryen colors burned and buried at the Tower of Joy. What will you tell people, Howland asks, about the child, the truth, part of it anyway? Ned's voice is hollow. That he's my bastard son, born of some woman during the war. Your wife will hate you for it. I know, but it's the only way to keep him safe. If anyone learns he's Rhaegar's son, Ned looks at the baby. Robert would kill him, without hesitation. And if Robert somehow accepted him, others wouldn't. The Baratheons would see him as a threat. The Targaryens in exile would try to use him. The realm would tear itself apart. So you'll let everyone think you broke your marriage vows. You'll let them think you dishonored yourself. Yes, that's a heavy burden, Ned, to carry a lie for the rest of your life. It's lighter than a child's death. Ned adjusts his hold on the baby. His name is Jon Snow. My bastard, that's the story, that's the truth everyone will know. And the real truth? Dee's with us. You and me, Howland. We're the only ones who know, and it has to stay that way. What about when he's older, when he asks about his mother? I'll tell him I can't speak of it, that it's too painful, that some secrets are meant to be kept. Ned's jaw clenches. I'll lie to him every day of his life to keep him alive, and I'll hate myself for it. But I'll do it. Howland is quiet for a long moment. You're a better man than most, Ned, but this secret will eat at you. Every time you look at the boy, you'll remember Lyanna. Every time someone calls him bastard, you'll know it's a lie. Every time your wife looks at him with hatred, you'll feel the weight of what you've done. I know, and you're willing to bear that? For the rest of your life? For Lyanna's son? Yes. For my nephew? Yes. For an innocent child who didn't choose his parents or his bloodline. Ned looks at Howland. I'll bear it, because someone has to. They ride in silence. After a while, Howland speaks again. You're king now, Ned. You could legitimize him. Make him Jon Stark. Give him a future. And raise 1,000 questions about who his mother was and why I'm suddenly legitimizing a bastard I barely acknowledged? No. The less attention he draws, the safer he is. So he grows up a Snow. A bastard. Hated by your wife. Looked down on by society. Denied his birthright. Yes. That's cruel, Ned. I know, but it's kinder than the alternative. Ned looks down at Jon. The baby has stopped crying. He's looking up at Ned with gray eyes. Lyanna's eyes. He's alive. That's what matters. Lyanna asked me to keep him alive, not to make him happy. I can give him life. I can give him protection. I can give him love as much as I'm able. But I can't give him his birthright, not without destroying everything. And when he's older, when he asks why he's a bastard, why you won't legitimize him, why his mother is a secret, I'll tell him the truth I can tell him. That I loved his mother, that she died, and that some secrets are too dangerous to speak aloud. He'll hate me for it. But he'll be alive to hate me. Howland Reed nods slowly. You're asking me to carry this secret too. To lie for you. For him. I am, and I have no right to ask it. But I'm asking anyway. I'll do it. For Lyanna. For the boy. For you. Howland pauses. But Ned, you're playing a dangerous game. You're king now. You have enemies everywhere. Tywin Lannister, the exiled Targaryens, Baratheon loyalists who think Robert should have the throne. If any of them discover Jon's true parentage, they'll use it against you. They'll say you're harboring a Targaryen pretender, that you're planning to put him on the throne, that you're a traitor to your own crown. Then we make sure no one ever discovers it. Can you guarantee that? No, but I can try. They continue north toward King's Landing, toward Catelyn, toward the throne. Toward a future built on lies and secrets, and the hope that one small truth an innocent child deserves to live can justify everything. King's Landing read, keep 1 month later, Catelyn Stark stands in the royal chambers, holding her newborn son, Robb, her firstborn, born just weeks after her husband left for war. She's heard the rumors. Ned is returning from the south. He's bringing a baby, a bastard. The door opens. Ned enters. He's thinner than when he left, harder. The crown hasn't been placed on his head yet. The formal coronation is scheduled for next week. But he already carries himself like a king. He's holding a baby. Catelyn's blood runs cold. Is it true? Catelyn, is it true? Her voice is ice. Is that child your bastard? Ned looks at her. His eyes are gray stone. Yes, the word lands like a sword thrust. You swore vows to me. Catelyn says. Her voice shakes. Before the seven, you swore to be faithful, to honor our marriage. And you broke those vows before we even had a wedding night. The boy was conceived during the war, before I married you. That doesn't make it better. You lay with some woman while I waited at River Run, while I carried your true son, and now you bring your bastard to court. She's shouting now, "You're the king, Ned, the king. You could hide him in the north, you could send him to be fostered far away, but you bring him here. He's my son, I won't hide him. He's a bastard, a stain on our marriage, on our house, on the crown itself." Catelyn moves to put Robb in his cradle, then turns back to Ned. What's his name? Jon? Jon what? Snow? Will you give him that name, the bastard name? Yes. And his mother? Who is she? What's her name? I can't tell you that. Catelyn goes very still. You can't tell me. No. Why not? Because it's not your concern. Not my concern. Catelyn's voice rises to a scream. You bring your bastard into our home, into our marriage, and you tell me it's not my concern. Catelyn, please, get out. Her voice is cold now. Dead. Get out of this room. Take your bastard with you. I don't want to see either of you. Catelyn, get out. Ned leaves. The baby, Jon, is crying. Catelyn sits down beside Robb's cradle. Her hands are shaking. Her husband, her king, has betrayed her, and she can do nothing about it. She's queen now. She has to smile and wave and pretend everything is fine. But she will never forgive him, and she will never love that bastard child. Red Keep, small council chamber, the next day. The small council convenes for the first time under King Eddard I. Jon Arryn sits as Hand of the King, his first official act in the new regime. The other seats are filled: Grand Maester Pycelle, holdover from Aerys's reign, old, obsequious, and useful; Lord Stannis Baratheon, Master of Ships; Robert's younger brother, brought to court to balance Baratheon interests, Lord Renly Baratheon, Master of Laws; Robert's youngest brother, charming and ambitious, Petyr Baelish, Master of Coin, a minor lord from the Vale, recommended by Jon Arryn for his financial acumen; Varys, Master of Whisperers. The Spider. Ned kept him on Jon Arryn's advice despite his instincts. Ned sits at the head of the table. He wears no crown yet. The coronation is tomorrow, but everyone treats him as king. Gentlemen, Ned says, we have a kingdom to rebuild. The war destroyed the Riverlands. The capital is in chaos. The crown is deeply in debt from years of Aerys's misrule. Where do we start? With the debt, Petyr Baelish says immediately. His voice is smooth. The crown owes significant sums to the Iron Bank of Braavos, the Faith, and various merchants. If we don't address it, we'll face demands for payment that we cannot meet. How much do we owe? Approximately 3 million gold dragons, Your Grace, and that's before accounting for the cost of the war. Ned's jaw tightens. 3 million. How did Aerys accumulate such debt? Wildfire production, Your Grace. Lavish tournaments. Bribes to maintain loyalty. The Mad King was profligate. Can we pay it? Not immediately, but we can negotiate terms. Extend payment schedules. Offer the crown's gold reserves as collateral. Baelish leans forward. I can manage this, Your Grace, but I'll need authority to make deals on the crown's behalf. Ned looks at Jon Arryn. Jon nods slightly. Very well. Work with Lord Arryn to develop a payment plan. But Baelish, no new debts. We don't borrow more to pay old debts. We cut spending and live within our means. That will require austerity, Your Grace. Fewer tournaments, smaller feasts, a reduced royal household. Good. The people are starving. The crown shouldn't feast while they suffer. A noble sentiment, Your Grace, Pycelle says. His voice is oily. But the crown must maintain a certain splendor. To command respect. I'll command respect by being just, not by throwing gold at problems. Ned turns to Stannis. Lord Stannis, the royal fleet, what's its status? Stannis Baratheon is a lean, hard man with a perpetual frown. He looks like Robert, but without the warmth. In disarray, your grace. Many ships were destroyed in the war. Others fled with the Targaryen loyalists. We have perhaps 50 warships. We need 200 to properly defend the coast. Can we build them, with time and gold, both of which we lack? Then make it a priority. I want the coastlines defended. The last thing we need is Targaryen forces sailing from Essos to reclaim the throne. Speaking of which, Varys interjects smoothly. My little birds tell me Queen Rhaella and Prince Viserys have reached Dragonstone. They're gathering what loyalists remain. How many men do they have? A few hundred at most, your grace. Dragonstone's garrison, not a serious threat, yet. Yet, Ned repeats, meaning they could become one. In time, yes, especially if they secure support from Essos. The free cities have no love for Westeros, but they do love gold, and the Targaryens still have friends abroad. Then we need to take Dragonstone before they can consolidate. I'll lead the assault myself, Stannis says immediately. Give me a fleet and 5,000 men. I'll take the island within a fortnight. Do it. But Stannis, when you take Dragonstone, I want Queen Rhaella and Prince Viserys treated with honor. They're not criminals, they're refugees. Give them a choice. Swear fealty and live in peace. Or take a ship to Essos, but don't harm them. Stannis' jaw clenches. Your grace, they're Targaryens. Leaving them alive invites rebellion. I won't start my reign by murdering a woman and a child. We've had enough of that. My decision is final. Stannis nods stiffly. As you command, your grace. The council continues for hours. Grain shipments for the Riverlands, justice for war crimes, appointments of new lords to replace those who died in the war. It's tedious, exhausting work, but it's necessary. As the meeting ends, Jon Arryn approaches Ned privately. A word, your grace. They step into an antechamber. You did well today, Jon says. Decisive but not cruel. That's what the realm needs. I felt like I was drowning in details. Every king does. That's why you have a small council, to handle the things you can't. Jon pauses. But Ned, there's something we need to discuss. The bastard, Jon Snow, understandably. And rumors are already spreading through court. The king has a bastard, born during the war. Hidden until now. Jon's voice is gentle. Ned, I know you. You're the most honorable man I've ever met. So I have to ask, why are you claiming this child as your own? Because he is my own. Is he? Or is he someone else's child that you're protecting? Ned's eyes narrow. What are you suggesting? I'm not suggesting anything. I'm asking, as your hand, as your friend, as the man who raised you. Jon meets Ned's gaze. If this boy is truly your son, then I understand the decision to acknowledge him even if it hurts your marriage. But if he's not, if he's someone else's child that you're sheltering, then you're taking a tremendous risk. For yourself and for the realm. Ned, if you won't tell me, I can't help you. And you're going to need help. Because this secret, whatever it is, will come out eventually. Secrets always do. And when it does, you need to have an answer that satisfies people. The answer is that he's my son and his mother's identity is my business. That's all anyone needs to know. Jon studies Ned for a long moment. Then he nods slowly. All right, if that's your position, I'll support it. But Ned, be careful. You're king now. Everything you do is scrutinized. And a bastard in the Red Keep is going to raise questions. Let them question. The boy stays. He could be sent north, to Winterfell, raised there instead of here. It would ease tensions with Catelyn. No, he stays with me, where I can protect him. Jon Arryn leaves, troubled. And Ned stands alone in the antechamber, feeling the weight of his crown and his secrets pressing down on him. Red Keep throne room, the next day, the coronation. The throne room is packed. Every great lord who survived the war is here. Every banner, every house, all gathered to witness the coronation of King Eddard Stark, first of his name. The High Septon stands before the Iron Throne in his crystal crown, holding the sacred oils. Ned kneels before him. He wears no armor today, just a simple gray doublet with the direwolf of House Stark. The High Septon anoints Ned's forehead with oil. In the sight of the seven, I do now consecrate you, Eddard of House Stark, first of his name, King of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the first men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and Protector of the realm. A crown is brought forward. Not the ornate Targaryen crown. Ned had that melted down. This is a simpler crown. Steel, not gold. Hammered by northern smiths. Crowned with dire wolves instead of dragons. The High Septon places it on Ned's head. Long live the king, the High Septon proclaims. Long live the king, the crowd echoes. Long live King Eddard. He turns to face the assembled lords. Robert Baratheon kneels first. He's been named Hand of the King, but the title sits on him like a yoke. He says the words of fealty loudly, clearly, but there's pain in his eyes. Jon Arryn kneels, Hoster Tully, the northern lords. Tywin Lannister kneels last. His face is stone. He says the words without emotion. One by one, every lord in the Seven Kingdoms swears fealty to King Eddard Stark. And Ned sits on the Iron Throne for the first time as king, feeling the blades cut into him through his clothes. A reminder that ruling is painful, that every decision draws blood. In the crowd, Catelyn stands with baby Robb in her arms. Her face is composed, the perfect queen, but her eyes are cold when they drift to where a wet nurse holds baby Jon Snow. In the shadows, Varys watches everything. His expression is unreadable. And in the north, in the crypts of Winterfell, Lyanna Stark's bones rest in a tomb bearing a statue of her face. She holds winter roses in her stone hands. Her son is alive, hidden, protected. But the price of that protection will echo through the realm for decades to come. Dragonstone, 2 months later night, Stannis Baratheon's fleet surrounds the island fortress of Dragonstone. 5,000 men prepare to storm the castle. But the castle is empty. Queen Rhaella and Prince Viserys fled 3 days ago on a smuggler's ship, sailing east toward the free cities. They took what gold and treasures they could carry. Stannis walks through the abandoned halls of Dragonstone. The dragons carved into every surface mock him. This was supposed to be a glorious victory. Instead, it's a hollow one. In the throne room, he finds something. A message, carved into the stone wall with a dagger. The dragon has 3 heads. The prince that was promised will return. Stannis stares at the words. Then he orders them chiseled away. But the message is already burned into his mind. The Targaryens are gone. But they're not finished. And someday they'll come back. King's Landing Red Keep Nursery that night. Ned sits in the nursery holding Jon Snow. The baby is 6 weeks old now. Healthy, strong. Catelyn refuses to enter this room. She's made it clear. Jon Snow is Ned's responsibility. She wants nothing to do with the bastard. Your mother's name was Lyanna, Ned whispers to the baby. She was the bravest person I ever knew. She loved you more than life itself. And she died to give you a chance. Jon gurgles, oblivious. I'm sorry, Ned continues. Sorry that I have to lie about who you are. Sorry that you'll grow up thinking you're a bastard. Sorry that people will look down on you, hate you, treat you as less than you are. He adjusts his hold on the baby. But you're alive, and as long as I draw breath, you'll stay alive. I promise you that. I promised your mother, and I'm promising you now. You are my son, in every way that matters, and I will protect you, even if it costs me everything. Outside, King's Landing sleeps, the crown is secure, the realm is at peace, but in this nursery, a secret grows, a secret that will shape the future of Westeros, a secret named Jon Snow, who is really Aegon Targaryen, the prince who was promised, the heir to the Iron Throne. And no one can ever know. King's Landing 15 years later. Jon Snow stands in the training yard of the Red Keep, sparring with Sir Barristan Selmy. He's 14 years old now, tall for his age, lean and quick, with dark hair and gray eyes. He looks like a Stark, thank the gods, with no trace of Targaryen silver in his coloring. Barristan comes at him with controlled strikes. Jon parries, blocks, riposts. He's good, very good, the best of the royal household's squires and pages. But he's still a bastard. Good, Barristan says, stepping back. Your footwork is improving, but you're still dropping your shoulder on the backswing. Again. They resume. Jon corrects the flaw. Barristan nods approval. From the battlements above, King Eddard Stark watches his son train. Ned is 45 now. 15 years on the throne have left their mark. Gray in his hair, lines around his eyes, a weariness that never quite leaves. But he's kept his vows, ruled justly, kept the peace. The realm is stable, prosperous even. The debts Aerys left have been paid down through careful management. The Riverlands have recovered from the war's devastation. The great houses are at peace with each other. But peace has a price. Your Grace. Ned turns. Jon Arryn approaches. The hand of the king is 65 now, his hair completely white, but his mind is still sharp. Jon. What news? Lord Stannis sends word from Dragonstone. He spotted ships in the narrow sea. Essosi traders, most likely, but he wants permission to investigate. Tell him to be thorough but diplomatic. We don't need a trade war with the free cities. I'll send the Raven today. Jon pauses. How is the boy? Barristan says he'll be a fine swordsman. That's not what I meant. Jon's voice drops. How is he? Really, growing up as the king's bastard can't be easy. Like his mother. You still won't tell me who she was. No. Ned, it's been 15 years. Whatever shame you're protecting, it's his life. Ned looks at Jon Arryn. Drop it, Jon, please. Jon Arryn nods slowly. As you wish, Your Grace, but you should know. There are whispers about the boy, about his parentage. Some say his mother was a northern girl you loved before Catelyn. Others say she was a Dornish princess. The rumors grow stranger every year. As long as they don't know the truth, Jon is safe. Safe from what? Ned doesn't answer. Below, Jon Snow disarms one of the other squires. The boys laugh and clap him on the shoulder. For a moment, Jon looks happy, but then he sees Queen Catelyn watching from another balcony. Her face is ice. She turns away without acknowledgement. Jon's smile fades. Ned's heart breaks a little more. Red Keep Queen's chambers that evening. Catelyn Stark sits with her children. Robb is 15, handsome and strong, the crown prince. Sansa is 12, beautiful and proper. Arya is 10, wild and rebellious. Bran is 8, always climbing. Rickon is 4, the baby. All legitimate, all royal, all hers. Mother Robb says, I saw Jon training today. He's gotten very good. I wouldn't know. I don't watch the bastard train. Mother, he's our brother. He is your father's bastard. Nothing more. Catelyn's voice is sharp. I've told you, Robb. You may be kind to him if you wish, but do not mistake kindness for kinship. He is not your brother, not truly. Father says, your father made his choice 15 years ago. He chose to dishonor our marriage by bringing that boy to court. I have lived with that dishonor every day since, but I will not pretend it doesn't exist. She looks at Robb. You are the crown prince. Someday you will be king. When that day comes, you will need to make decisions about who belongs at court and who doesn't. I suggest you remember where your true loyalties lie. Robb doesn't argue. He knows better. But later, when he finds Jon in the armory cleaning his practice sword, he sits beside him. Mother said something, Robb begins. She always does. Jon doesn't look up. She's wrong, you know, about you. You are my brother. I'm your father's bastard. You're both, and I don't care what Mother says. Your family. Jon finally looks at Robb. You're going to be king someday. You can't afford to care about a bastard brother. It's not political. I don't care about politics. You should. Your mother does. Your father does. Everyone at court does. Jon returns to cleaning his sword. I know what I am, Robb. I know where I fit. And it's not beside you on a throne. It's in the shadows. Always. Yes, it does. Jon's voice is firm. I'm a Snow. That's my name. That's my place. And nothing's going to change it. Robb wants to argue, but he can see the resignation in Jon's eyes, the acceptance of a truth that's been drilled into him since birth. So instead, Robb just sits with him, in silence. Two brothers who are and aren't brothers, bound by blood they share and names they don't. Red Keep, small council chamber. 1 week later, the small council convenes as it does every fortnight. The same faces, mostly. Jon Arryn as Hand, Stannis Baratheon as Master of Ships, Renly Baratheon as Master of Laws, Patyr Baelish as Master of Coin, Varys as Master of Whisperers, Grand Maester Pycelle. Robert Baratheon is notably absent. He's hunting in the Kingswood. Again, he spends more time hunting than he does at court these days. Ned doesn't mind. Robert fulfilled his oath. He served as commander of the royal armies, won several border skirmishes, kept the Stormlands loyal, but the bitterness never fully left him. He drinks too much, hunts too much, fathers too many bastards. Ned wonders sometimes if he destroyed his brother by taking the throne, but he can't change the past. Your Grace, Patyr Baelish says, I have good news. The crown's debts are nearly paid in full. Another year, perhaps 2, and we'll be solvent. Excellent work, Lord Baelish. Thank you, Your Grace. Though I should mention, our prosperity has attracted attention. The Iron Bank has offered very favorable terms for a new loan. We could use the gold to fund infrastructure projects, roads, harbors, defenses. No new debts, Ned says firmly. We've spent 15 years climbing out of the hole Eris dug. I won't jump back in. As you wish, Your Grace. Varys speaks up. If I may, Your Grace, I have troubling news from across the narrow sea. Go on. The Targaryen children, Viserys and Daenerys, have been seen in Pentos. My little birds report that they're seeking sponsors for an invasion. Ned goes cold. An invasion? With what army? They don't have one yet, Your Grace. But Viserys has been making promises, marriages, trade agreements, land grants, anything to secure support. He's desperate. And desperate men are dangerous, Jon Arryn observes. How old are they now? Ned asks. Viserys is 28, Your Grace. Daenerys is 14. Just a girl. Do they have any realistic chance of raising an army? Not at present, Your Grace. But if they secure a marriage to a powerful house, say to the Dothraki or to one of the free cities, that could change. The magisters of the free cities have no love for Westeros. They might support a Targaryen restoration just to destabilize our trade dominance. Then we need to prevent that, Stannis says. Send assassins, kill them before they become a threat. No, Ned says immediately. Your Grace, they're Targaryens. They'll always be a threat as long as they live. They're children. I won't murder children. Viserys is hardly a child. He's a grown man with a blood claim to your throne. A claim he can't enforce without an army, which he doesn't have and isn't likely to get. I'm not starting my reign's second decade by murdering refugees. Ned looks at Varys. Watch them. Report any significant movements. But no assassinations. Is that clear? As crystal, Your Grace. The meeting continues. Grain shipments, tax revenues, petitions from the lords. Afterward, Jon Arryn walks with Ned through the Red Keep's corridors. You were merciful today, Jon observes. Refusing to kill the Targaryens. I've killed enough people, I won't add children to the list. Even if those children might threaten your reign, your children's inheritance, if they raise an army and invade, we'll fight them. But I won't murder them in their beds for crimes they haven't committed. Ned stops walking. Jon, I've spent 15 years trying to be a just king. A good king. That means sometimes showing mercy even when it's not politically convenient. I know, and the realm is better for it. But Ned, you need to think about succession. You're 45. God's willing, you'll rule for many more years. But you need to prepare. Robb should be learning to govern. He should sit on councils, make decisions, learn what it means to wear a crown. And you just fought a war. Robb has the luxury of peace. Use it. Teach him. Ned nods slowly. You're right. I'll start bringing him to council meetings. Let him observe. Learn. Good. And Ned, there's one other matter we should discuss. The bastard. Ned tenses. Jon. Yes, he's 14 now. Almost a man grown. You need to make a decision about his future. What do you mean? You can't keep him at court forever. He's a bastard. He has no place in the succession. And his presence, it troubles the queen. It troubles some of the lords. They wonder why you keep him so close. Why you've never sent him away. Because he's my son. He's your acknowledged bastard. There's a difference. Jon's voice is gentle but firm. Ned, I'm not saying you should banish him, but you should give him a path, a purpose. Some bastards join the Kingsguard. Others take the Black. Others still are sent to be fostered by loyal lords. What will Jon Snow do? Ned doesn't answer immediately. He's thought about this question for years, and the answer terrifies him. Because if Jon leaves court, if he goes to the Wall or to some distant castle, Ned can't protect him, can't watch over him, can't ensure that no one discovers the truth. But keeping him at court is becoming harder. The questions are mounting, the whispers are growing. I'll speak with him, Ned says finally, find out what he wants. And if he wants to stay, then he stays. He's my son. I won't force him away. Jon Arryn sighs. You're too soft-hearted sometimes, Ned. It's one of your best qualities, and one of your most dangerous. Red keep Jon's chambers. That night, Ned finds Jon in his small chamber near the servants' quarters. Not a cell, but not the royal apartments either. A bastard's place, better than a commoner's, worse than a prince's. Jon is reading when Ned enters. He stands immediately. Father, I didn't expect you. Sit, please. Ned sits on the edge of Jon's bed. "We need to talk about your future." Jon's expression doesn't change, but Ned sees the wariness in his eyes. "What about it?" Almost a man groan. "And you need to start thinking about what you want to do with your life." "I know what I am. A bastard. I'll never inherit anything. I'll never rule anything. I'll never be anything but Jon Snow." "That's not true. You could join the King's Guard. Serve with honor. Sir Barristan speaks highly of your skill. The King's Guard vow never to marry, never to hold lands. They give up everything. Some would say that's noble, to give up everything for a higher purpose. And others would say it's a waste." Jon looks at Ned. "Is that what you want? For me to join the King's Guard? I want you to be happy, to find purpose. Then let me stay here. Let me keep training, keep learning. I don't need a grand purpose, I just need to be useful." "Jon, complicated. But father, this is the only home I've ever known. The Red Keep, King's Landing, you, Robb, even Arya when she's not trying to sword fight the servants." Jon's voice cracks slightly. "Don't send me away, please." Ned's heart breaks. "I'm not sending you away. I'm trying to give you options." "I don't want options. I want to stay." "Always be the bastard? Always be less than your siblings?" "Yes. Because at least here, I'm your bastard. Your son. Somewhere else I'd just be nobody." Ned reaches out and grips Jon's shoulder. "You're not nobody. You're my son. And I'm proud of you. Every day." "Then let me stay." Ned wants to say yes. Wants to keep Jon close. Safe. Protected. But Jon Arryn's words echo in his mind. You can't keep him at court forever. And deeper still, Lyanna's dying words. "Promise me, Ned. Promise me you'll protect him." How can Ned protect Jon if he sends him away? How can he keep the secret safe if Jon is at the Wall or fostered in some distant castle? But how can he protect Jon if keeping him at court draws too much attention? If the questions become demands? If someone starts investigating? "All right," Ned says finally. "You can stay, for now. But Jon, if that changes, if I tell you that you need to leave, you have to trust me. You have to go. Can you promise me that?" "Never doubt that. No matter what anyone says, no matter what name you carry, you're my son, always." "I know," Jon whispers. "I know." But even as Ned holds him, he feels the weight of the lie pressing down. The secret that grows heavier every year. Jon Snow is not Jon Snow. He's Aegon Targaryen. And if the realm ever discovers that, everything Ned has built will burn. Red Keep throne room 1 month later day. The throne room is full. A formal audience, lords presenting petitions, merchants seeking trade agreements, the routine business of the crown. Ned sits on the Iron Throne, Robb standing beside him to observe, learning. A herald announces the next petitioner, Lord Baelish, Master of Coin, with a proposal for the crown's consideration. Petyr Baelish steps forward, bowing smoothly. "Your Grace, I come with an opportunity. The Free City of Braavos has offered a mutual trade agreement. Reduced tariffs on Westerosi goods in exchange for the same on Braavosi imports. It would significantly boost crown revenues." "What's the catch?" Ned asks. "No catch, Your Grace. Simply a good business arrangement between two prosperous realms." "Lord Arryn, your assessment?" "The agreement seems fair on its face, Your Grace, though I would recommend including provisions about military neutrality. We don't want Braavos supporting Targaryen claimants under the guise of trade." Lord Baelish amend the agreement to include such provisions, then present it to the small council for full review. "As you command, Your Grace." The audience continues. Hours of petitions, grievances, requests. Finally, it's done. Ned stands to leave. "Your Grace!" A commotion at the doors. "Your Grace, urgent news." A rider bursts into the throne room, mud-splattered and exhausted. "Your Grace, Lord Stannis sends word from Dragonstone. Ships, dozens of them, approaching from the east. SOC banners." Ned goes cold. "How many ships?" "At least 30, Your Grace. Warships and something else." "What?" "Dragons, Your Grace." The rider's voice shakes. The scouts report seeing dragons, 3 of them, small but alive, flying above the ships. The throne room erupts in chaos, lords shouting, guards moving, panic spreading. Ned raises his hand for silence. "Dragons. You're certain?" "The scouts swear it, Your Grace. 3 dragons. And at the head of the fleet." The rider pauses. A girl with silver hair, The sailors are calling her the Mother of Dragons. Daenerys Targaryen. She's 14 years old, and she's coming home. Red, Keep War Room hours later. The small council convenes in emergency session. Maps of the coast spread across the table. Markers showing the Essosi fleet's position. How did this happen? Ned demands. Varys, you're supposed to have spies watching the Targaryens. I did, Your Grace. But the girl, she disappeared into the Dothraki Sea 8 months ago. My birds lost track of her. And then she reappeared with dragons. Dragons, Varys's voice is strained. Your Grace, I don't know how she obtained them. Dragon eggs were thought extinct, but clearly they weren't. How big are these dragons? Stannis asks. Small, Lord Stannis. Perhaps the size of large dogs, according to the scouts. They can't carry a rider yet. They can't burn a city. But they're growing. And they're real. Then we kill them now, Stannis says flatly. Before they become a threat, we assemble the fleet, we meet them at sea, we burn their ships and drown the dragons. And the girl? Ned asks quietly. The girl dies. She's a Targaryen. She's brought dragons to Westeros. She's declared war on your crown by her very presence. She's 14 years old. She's a threat. Ned looks around the table. Jon, what do you think? Jon Arryn is troubled. Your Grace, I advised mercy when the Targaryens fled to Essos. I said they were children and posed no threat. I was wrong. This girl has done the impossible. She's brought dragons back from extinction, and she's sailing for Westeros with a fleet. We have to respond. With war, Lord Baelish? The dragons change everything, Your Grace. If they grow large enough to ride, large enough to burn cities. We've read the histories. Aegon conquered the 7 kingdoms with 3 dragons. This girl could do the same. Your Grace, Renly Baratheon speaks up. Perhaps we should consider other options. Marriage, for instance. You're widowed. I'm not widowed. Queen Caitlyn is alive and well. Of course, Your Grace. I meant... Renly fumbles. I meant for the crown prince. Robb could marry the Targaryen girl. Unite the dynasties. End the threat peacefully. Father? Ned's jaw clenches. The Targaryen girl is bringing an invasion fleet to our shores. I'm not rewarding that with a royal marriage. Ned stands. Stannis, take the royal fleet. Meet the Targaryens at sea. But Stannis, offer terms first. Tell them they can swear fealty and be pardoned. Or they can sail back to Essos. Give them a choice before you attack, and if they refuse both options, then sink their ships. But spare the girl if you can. Bring her here. Let me speak with her face to face. Your Grace, that's... Ned looks at each of them. We defended this realm from the Mad King. We won't become him by murdering children without trial. War preparations begin, and in his chambers, Ned sits alone with his head in his hands. Daenerys Targaryen is coming, with dragons. And if she discovers the truth about Jon Snow, that he's her nephew, that he has a claim to the throne that predates Ned's conquest, everything falls apart. The secret can't hold forever. Ned always knew that, but he hoped he'd have more time. The Narrow Sea, Stannis' flagship, 1 week later. Stannis Baratheon stands on the deck of his flagship, watching the Essosi fleet approach. 30 warships, not a massive force but significant. And above them, circling in the sky, 3 dragons. They're small, as reported, but they're real. Their scales gleam in the sunlight, black, green, and gold. They screech as they fly, and the sound sends shivers through Stannis' men. Prepare to engage, Stannis orders, but hold fire until I give the command. We offer terms first. A longboat is lowered. Stannis and a handful of men row toward the Targaryen flagship. They're met halfway by another longboat, and in it sits a girl. Daenerys Targaryen is 14 years old. She's small, delicate, with silver gold hair and violet eyes. She wears a leather riding outfit and sits with perfect posture. Behind her, 3 dragons perch on the gunwales of the boat, watching, waiting. I am Stannis Baratheon, Stannis says. Master of ships and Lord of Dragonstone, I speak for King Eddard Stark. I am Daenerys Targaryen, daughter of Aerys Targaryen, rightful queen of the 7 kingdoms. Her voice is young, but steady. I speak for myself and for the throne that was stolen from my family. It was won by right of conquest after your father went mad and murdered innocent people. My father was killed by a traitor. My family was driven into exile. And now, I've come to take back what is mine. With 30 ships and 3 baby dragons, Stannis' voice is dry. You have courage, girl. I'll give you that. But courage won't win you a kingdom. No, but these will. Daenerys gestures. The dragons screech. They're small now, but they grow every day. And when they're large enough to ride, I'll burn every castle that stands against me, just as Aegon the Conqueror did. King Eddard offers you terms. Swear fealty to him. Acknowledge him as king. In exchange, you'll be pardoned, given lands, allowed to live in peace. I want the Iron Throne. Then you'll die trying to take it. Perhaps. But I won't die alone. How many of your men will burn before my dragons fall? How many cities will I destroy before you stop me? How much will your king sacrifice to keep a throne he stole? Stannis studies her. She's young, but there's steel in her eyes. Conviction. The king also offers another option, Stannis says. Return to Essos. Take your dragons and your ships and go. We won't pursue you, we won't hunt you. Just leave Westeros and never return. Never? Then we're at an impasse. No, we're at war. Daenerys stands. Tell your king that I'm coming. Tell him that House Targaryen has returned. Tell him that the dragons are awake. And tell him that I will sit on the Iron Throne, whether he yields it or dies defending it. She returns to her ship. The dragons follow. Stannis rows back to his flagship. My lord, his captain asks, do we attack? Stannis watches the Targaryen fleet, the dragons circling above, the girl standing on the deck of her flagship, fearless. No, he says finally. We escort them, at a distance, and we send word to King's Landing. This is beyond my authority now. The two fleets sail west, toward Westeros, toward King's Landing, toward a confrontation that will decide the fate of the realm. King's Landing, Red Keep, 1 week later. The city is in a panic. Word has spread, the Targaryens are coming. With dragons, the small folk are terrified. Some flee the city. Others stock up on food and water, preparing for a siege. Priests preach about the end times. Criminals riot in Flea Bottom. Ned stands on the battlements watching the horizon. Robb stands beside him. Father, what are we going to do? I don't know. You have to know. You're the king. Being king doesn't mean having all the answers, Robb. Sometimes it just means making the best choice you can with the information you have. And what choice is that? I'm still deciding. Behind them, Jon Snow approaches. Father, the King's Guard is assembled. Sir Barristan asks if you want the gates closed. Ned turns. Jon is in his training leathers, sword at his side. He looks worried. No. Leave the gates open. I won't turn this city into a fortress, but the Targaryens are coming to negotiate. I hope. Ned looks at Jon. I want you to stay inside the Red Keep. Don't leave the castle. No matter what happens, just do it, please. Jon nods, confused. Robb watches the exchange, sensing something beneath the surface. But he doesn't ask. Hours pass. The sun begins to set. And then, on the horizon, ships appear. Dozens of them, Essosi banners. And above them, 3 shapes circling in the darkening sky. Dragons. The city watches in silence as the fleet enters Blackwater Bay. And Daenerys Targaryen comes home. Red Keep throne room the next day. The throne room is packed. Every lord in the city, every knight, every person of importance. Ned sits on the Iron Throne. Robb stands beside him. Jon Arryn on the other side. Robert Baratheon, summoned from his hunting, stands with the King's Guard. The doors open. Daenerys Targaryen enters. She's small, young, but she walks like a queen. Behind her, 3 Dothraki blood riders, and perched on her shoulders and arms, the 3 dragons. The room goes silent. Everyone stares at the dragons, at the impossible made real. Daenerys stops at the base of the steps to the Iron Throne. She looks up at Ned. King Eddard Stark, Princess Daenerys, Queen Daenerys. You're not queen. I am king. This is my throne. It was my family's throne for 300 years. You're a thief sitting on stolen property. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Robert's hand goes to his sword. Ned raises a hand for silence. I took this throne by right of conquest. The same right your ancestor Aegon used when he forged the 7 kingdoms. If you want to challenge that right, you're welcome to try. But know that it will mean war. And war means thousands will die. Is that what you want? Daenerys doesn't flinch. I want what is mine. What is yours is a name, a bloodline, a legacy. But the throne? I hold the throne. I've held it for 15 years. I've ruled justly. I've brought peace. What have you done? What have you built? What gives you the right to demand I yield? These, Daenerys gestures. The dragons screech. My children, my birthright, the blood of the dragon made flesh. When they're grown, they'll burn every castle that stands against me, just as Balerion, Vhagar, and Meraxes did for Aegon. Your dragons are children, so are you. Come back in 10 years when they're grown and you've learned what it means to rule. Then we can talk. I won't wait 10 years. Robert's voice booms across the throne room. I killed your brother Rhaegar. I'll kill you too, girl. You and your dragons. I'll put them down like the beasts they are. No, this is a Targaryen, standing in our throne room, demanding your crown. We should kill her now. Daenerys' dragons hiss. One of them, the black one, exhales a small puff of flame. The crowd panics. Enough. Ned's voice cuts through the chaos. Everyone calm down now. Slowly, order is restored, but the tension is thick enough to cut. Ned descends the steps. He approaches Daenerys, looks her in the eyes. You have courage? I respect that, but courage without wisdom is just recklessness. You're 14 years old. You've never ruled anything. You've never governed. You've never made the hard choices that kingship requires. And you're demanding I hand you a kingdom of millions based on your bloodline and some baby dragons? They won't be babies forever. No, they won't. And when they're grown, if you still want the throne, come take it. Fight me for it. Burn me if you can. But don't expect me to hand it over because your family used to sit here. Daenerys studies him. You're not what I expected. What did you expect? A tyrant? A usurper? A man who murdered children and stole thrones? I didn't murder children. I protected them, including you, when I could have sent assassins to Essos. Why didn't you? And if I can't rule justly, I don't deserve to rule at all. For a long moment, Daenerys doesn't speak. She's thinking, calculating. I'll offer you a deal, Ned says. Stay in Westeros. Live under my rule. I'll give you Dragonstone. You can be Lady of Dragonstone. Raise your dragons there. Learn to govern. In exchange, you swear fealty to me. You acknowledge me as king. And when I die, you can present your claim to my heir. Today. And if you ever return with hostile intent, I'll destroy you. Dragons or no dragons. Then she kneels. I, Daenerys of House Targaryen, swear fealty to King Eddard of House Stark. I acknowledge him as the rightful king of the Seven Kingdoms. I will serve him and his heirs faithfully. For now, the last two words hang in the air like a threat. Ned helps her to her feet. Welcome home, Princess Daenerys. I hope you'll use your time wisely. I will, Your Grace. And when your reign ends, I'll take what is mine. If you're worthy of it, I won't stop you. She leaves. Her dragons follow. The Dothraki behind her. The throne room erupts in argument. Lords shouting about the danger. Robert demanding she be executed. Chaos. But Ned just sits back down on the Iron Throne, feeling the weight of another compromise, another gamble, another secret to manage. Because now he has Daenerys Targaryen in Westeros, with dragons, learning, growing, waiting. And Jon Snow, the true heir to the throne she's claiming, sitting in the Red Keep not 50 feet away. The secrets are piling up, the lies are compounding, and Ned knows deep in his bones that eventually it will all come crashing down. Epilogue Red Keep, Jon's chambers that night. Jon can't sleep. He's been thinking about the Targaryen girl, about her dragons, about the way she looked at the throne like it belonged to her. There's a knock at his door. Enter. Ned comes in. He looks exhausted. Father, I thought you'd be dealing with the lords. I've dealt with enough lords for one day. Ned sits on Jon's bed. I need to talk to you about something important. What is it? Ned takes a breath. This is it. The moment he's been dreading for 15 years. Jon, there's something I need to tell you. About your mother. About who you really are. Jon goes still. What? Your mother's name was Lyanna Stark, my sister. What? But you said, I lied. To protect you. Your mother was Lyanna. Your father was Rhaegar Targaryen. The words hit Jon like a physical blow. He staggers back. That's not, you're lying. I'm not. I wish I was. But it's the truth. You're not my son. You're my nephew. You're the legitimate son of Rhaegar and Lyanna. Your real name is Aegon Targaryen. No, that's not possible. I'm a bastard. I'm Jon Snow. You're the heir to the Iron Throne. Ned's voice is quiet. By blood and law, you have a stronger claim than me. stronger than Robb, stronger than Daenerys. You are the prince that was promised, the rightful king. Jon can't breathe, can't think. His entire life, everything he thought he knew, is a lie. Why, he finally asks. Why tell me now? Because Daenerys Targaryen is in Westeros, with dragons, and she's claiming the throne. And if she discovers who you really are, she'll either try to marry you to unite the claims, or kill you to eliminate the competition. Either way, the secret's not safe anymore. So what do? I don't know. But Jon, Ned grips his shoulders, whatever you choose, know this. You are my son, in every way that matters. I raised you, I loved you, I protected you. Whether you're Jon Snow or Aegon Targaryen, whether you want the throne or run from it, you're my son, always. Jon's eyes are wet. I don't want to be a king. I just want to be Jon. The throne is just metal and power. It doesn't define you, you define yourself. They embrace, father and son, uncle and nephew, king and prince, and the secret that was meant to die with them is finally spoken aloud. The truth is out, and the realm will never be the same. Let us know what you'd like to see next. The end.